Okay. This is it. This is it. This is everything. And this is already everything. So there's nothing to look for. And that's crazy because when there's I'm here, there's always that feeling of dissatisfaction, maybe, or this is not good enough, or I'm looking for something else because it should be this and that. But this is not, I'm feeling not happy with it or something else. So dissatisfaction can be a long, be present for a long time. And then it's when there's that embodied dissatisfaction, it can coloring everything. So it jumps on anything. And when it's jumping on something that you can't, there's only a seeing that from with that energy with that. So that it's not even about the situation, but that disappointment or the somewhere wanting something else is always with that. So it's not even in the brain, but it's with that, embodied, and it's an embodied energy. So the search is also not personal, it's something energetic. There is already no one. So there is no one. There's no one inside. There can be bodies and flooring and wall. There's no one inside. So that means that there's also no free will. There's no choice. That's crazy. There's also no time and no distance. So that makes the whole world of the whole story of my life that it's going. But when there's no story, then suddenly it's just what it is. And that's very simple. There's no meaning. There's no importance in anything. It's what it is. And when there's me and I'm here and I'm doing something with it, there's a feeling of there's something lost. That whole, you could say, oneness. It's the wonder of what is happening. There's nothing going on. Is this enough, or I want more, or all that? It's just the wonder of what's going on. And it can be with anything. It can be with the floor, or you saw yesterday. We saw some little children, and they were, and their father was just wiping their face, and there was just like, you just go on. And there was no relation between that, what was going on, and what they were doing. So when there's no one, there's no relation with anything. And that's normally what's going on in the story. We see a lot of a relation because I am here, so there would be someone there in those bodies. And not only with people, but also with work, with house, with relatives, with relations, with fathers. It seems to be all related. And when there's a relation, there's also we talk about love, but most of the time it's about personal love. Personal love is part of that. There's a need and taking care, and that can be in that relation. And there are a lot of ideas how to behave, what someone needs to do to love me, and that means in another way that I feel good about myself, or I feel good. This is not about feeling good. It has nothing to do with feeling good. That can be strange because that's in the story of me, of my life. There's always something going on, like moving away from pain and unhappiness or dissatisfaction, and wanting to feel free or relaxed or happy, or all that. It has nothing to do with happy. Hello, come in. Hi. There's a place for you if you want to sit there. If you want to sit there, there's some water. You want to drink something?
I'm okay, right?
Are you okay? Okay. So there's just this, and this is everything. There's only everything, and everything is not real. Because when there's someone, and there's a feeling of the brain can abstract and see that there's a distance, there's over there, there's someone, and over here there's someone. And suddenly that seems like I'm in the world of two, like good and bad and behavior and right and wrong. So there's a whole thing going on. Like I have to relate, I have to behave in a certain way to feel good. And there's somewhere there's a lot, feels like there's a loss of that oneness that you can't even say what that is, but there's a remembering somewhere. And then there's trying to deal with everything, because there's a feeling I'm here, and so not maybe when there's little children, it's not immediately, but just trying to, oh, if you do that, I'm happy. If you don't do that, no, I don't like that. And so that goes on. It's in the story that goes on. And then there's an embodiment of trying to behave in a certain way to feel good or to be pleased or to feel happy about what's going on. There's a lot about behavior in the story. And then they're coming here and then they're saying, no, there's only unconditional love. Unconditional love means no rules at all. That's the freedom. It doesn't have anything to do with the story or right and wrong. There's no right and wrong. There's no better and worse. It's what it is. This is a describing of what's going on. That's only a describing. And when there's me, there's looking, and everybody knows that in your certain way. There's noticing or being aware of what's going on and busy with how do I feel about that and how it's going and what is, oh, I don't like that. Oh, that doesn't feel good and all that. And then suddenly that whole awareness, that being busy with yourself, it's just not arising. And then suddenly it's like, oh, at the same time, it's so normal that I think a lot of times it's not even being noticed. And when that me, what we are so busy with, we don't want that me anymore. When it's not arising, it's so normal, it's not even noticed. Because that noticing what normally was going on isn't there. So it's just walking or being around, not being busy with things. Sometimes there's thoughts, and that's what's happening. But there's nothing going on trying to change anything, trying to do something with it, or do I like it or don't I like it? Because that's what's going on. This is everything. It's a wonder of just what's going on. And there's nothing coloring that. There's just what is happening. And that's it's amazing. It's that wall, it's walling, and that's everything. And that's the craziness of being in the story and not being in the story. When there's being in the story, it seems like everything is real and solid, and what can I do with that, or how do I feel about it? So the wall is just, yeah, the wall, yeah. So yeah, the wall, what is it? Why don't you talk about that? I don't, yeah, I see the wall, and yesterday it was the same, so yeah, like that. And then there's somebody saying, no, the wall is walling, and that's alive. It's like rocks are, it's alive, the floor, bodies. It's not only people or pets or anything. It's everything is aliveness in a different way, in seeing it in a different way. And that aliveness is what we are looking for. And you can't even name it. You can't say how that is. But somewhere when there's talking about this and there's nothing going on trying to change what's happening, there's no one seeing what's going on. When they're asking questions, there's no answer in a way. There's not seeing someone. Then suddenly that aliveness is becoming more obvious. It can be sensed somewhere or recognized maybe. And it's not even a feeling, it's something you can't even grasp. And sometimes it's sensed in a certain way, you can't even say how and why, but it's like that. And then what also can happen in these meetings is that the concepts who are there can be a lot of beliefs about what's going on, what's important, what I have to do or not, or what's going on in my life and memories and being busy with that. It's like that nothingness, because there's just nothing, then it's like, no, it's not attacking. It's like, it's, how do you say it? It's, we had that word, like this, it's like disappearing, because that, what's going on, I'm busy with all day. It's like really important, and a strong energy can be there. And when there's no answer, there can be that strong energy, but there's no one answering that, no one confirming that. So it can be like falling down and not knowing. There are no questions. Maybe the concepts are falling away. Maybe it's not even noticed. But there's something going on, which is energetic, which is maybe not so much noticed, and then maybe later on that will be more obvious. It can be also very tiring, because that being busy with I'm here and I want answers, and how can I do it? And answers can be in the story like knowing and want to understand what's going on. And then there can be a lot of tension and exhaustion about being busy with that. And then suddenly there's a meeting and that it's not addressed. So it's like, oh, and then it's a bit like relaxing in a certain way. And that can be being very tired after that, or during the meeting can be happening. Because that tension is not confirmed. So we can see what's going on. We can also, what I would say is, it's not only about being clear. It's in the end, it's not at all about being clear, because there can be a lot of clearness and there can be a lot of understanding about this. But then there's someone who understands and what's going on. There can be any question. I said it yesterday. There can be any question. We can talk about things that happen in your life, what you feel like, what's going on, or any questions about whatever, relation, money, I don't know, any item, what we can do. Because it's that I don't know what will happen when there's those questions, but we'll see what's happening. And then it's more like, I feel like more something about concrete things. So we'll see. And if there are questions, we can say, and if there are no silly questions, when you have questions that you ask them again and again, that's new. Everything is new, so it can't be wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's anything wrong. So we'll see.
You have a question? We'll use this.
Oh yeah.
Microphone
Sorry.
here.
Yeah.
Hold it up like.
Yeah.
Just pass me.
Just for the recording. It's only for the recording. It doesn't make a sound to us or loud. Yeah.
There's no question, so we must be pretty advanced.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. I had to,
yeah,
we're already there. We don't need to.
yeah.
So yesterday I was asking you about your experience at the dinner table about like if when situations arise or when body sensations or quote unquote conflicts, how if I remember correctly, it was like the mechanisms to get busy and do it and solve it and get rid of it aren't there over there as
about
much.
Wait,
okay,
because I'm not so good at remembering.
That's fine. I can start anew. So like here, if there's like a lot of gut contractioning stuff that apparently feels like it's unwinding, and there's wanting to get involved with it to make it help it on its way or unwind faster rather than just letting it be. And the experience, if you had something like that, how would that experience be for you?
There can be a contracted energy or tension or that.
Sure.
But there's no one busy with it. It's not arising that I can do that. I don't even know how to do that. It's just that tension. And then that's there for a while. It's not focusing on it, or there can be that tension and it's there. And then just going on doing things, what's going on. And then suddenly it's not there. Or maybe it's getting stronger and maybe emotions can go. Then that's what's going on. But then It's not sitting for it and doing things, but it's just
Or being with it even.
no. It's just like just walk, like you could say like walking, and oh, that's going on, and that just everything goes on without being busy with it.
Sure. And after further thought, I was realizing that I was trying to make a prescription out of it, so to say, like, okay, so if things are arising, then I shouldn't have anything about it, but that's doing something about it too, or that's like using your experience as a prescription, so to say, or as a method, which that's not it either.
That's why it's really not interesting how it's going on here, because there can be some ideas like, oh, that's how she does it, and that maybe is the right thing. There is no right thing. It's exactly how it's going there. That's the where we're going, where we're talking about. It's exactly how that's going there. Is it? We can't even imagine that everything what's going on, like maybe thoughts, being busy with it, is exactly complete already. There's no need to change at all. It's exactly that. And it's all different everywhere. It's not about of feeling good, but that what is going on, attention, and then thoughts coming and being busy with it, then that's what's apparently happening. So there's nothing right or wrong. It's exactly that. That's the wonder, that it's everything exactly how it's going. It's like what we talk when I remember about talking like that. It's like, oh, I'm always thinking like, oh, there's something not right yet. There should be something that, but that's whole that you call me, that thinks that always there's something not right yet, or can done something about it because and all that. That's a misunderstanding. It's not about feeling good, because that's also a misunderstanding. It's about that what's happening, a feeling, a sensation, the floor, is not even about us, because that's also a misunderstanding, that there's someone and we need to deal with what's going on. There's not someone here inside. It's just a sensation. It's not even in the body. There's a sensation somewhere. That can be, or thoughts coming. It's not thoughts in the head. It's thoughts in space, you could say. They come like flies. They come. We're not busy with flies all the time. Like, oh, what's going on with the fly? And is it important? No, it's the same of like clouds or all that. It's the same. Like it's an energy that's going on, and we think it's very important. We can do something about it or that. No, it's just thoughts. It's energy, and there's no one. So it's exactly, life is already complete. There's so many different ways of how the energy is going and showing, and flaws and energy thinking, contracted. It's everything. But what's going on, that's the unconditional love, contracting in a certain way. Yeah? That's life. That's aliveness full on in that way. Wait.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that offers anything outside of that is the same mechanism that wants to tell stories about everything and conceptualize everything. That's the only other alternative, it seems, besides what's here. And that's pretty.
And that's exhausting. It can be like, oh my God, there's so many, and you can't do anything about it when that's going on. It's not wrong. That's what normally is going on, and also in our spiritual teachings, is that something is wrong and we can help you to make it right, or all that. And that's confirming that there's something wrong with something. That it's a complete misunderstanding. It's life already. There can't be something wrong. It's not yours. It's not you doing it. Then when there's you doing it, there can be that story about you doing it right. But there's no you. It's just what's going on. That hand's going like that. Yeah? So, or thoughts, or I don't know, anything. It's not a certain, that this is an individual and that has a certain thing in the story. There's no story. There's no individual. just energy going in a certain way. And that's complete. It's exactly complete as it is. It's unconditional love, contracting, thinking, everything. You don't need to understand it. You don't need to anything, because it's already complete. It's everything. So you can't miss it in a way, you could say. It's even the thinking, oh, I don't get it, or oh, I don't know. That thought can happen. So,
Yeah,
of course. Not easy. It's not easy, but
yeah. I mean, there is
Why?
that. It comes to that every now and then that I can't miss it because it's always here.
yeah,
Whatever it is.
it's the only thing there is. And it's like that. It's not something. It's not something, because that's what we use. It's
Right.
something, and then it
Right.
has to be in a certain way.
Right.
It's not something. It's everything. And that's the strange thing. What I heard saying that, like it's hiding by being everything, because we're looking for how, and what, and not, and it's everything. So how can you find everything? There's no finding, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not exactly clear, but along the line, so my daughter called last night. She's in college with a problem. And she's upset about something. So we hang up, and then I'm like, oh, I'm upset. She's upset. And I want to help her and like come up with strategies. But then I was thinking, well, okay, if everything is just what's happening, like it doesn't matter. Like I'm making a story out of it. So she's not real. I'm not real. The problem is not real. But I thought, okay, something's going to happen. This is going to get resolved one way or another. But I thought, oh, I don't want her to feel like I don't care. And I thought, gosh, if that me dropped away and I was just like, oh, she'll figure it out. And so then that scares me. But then also you're saying there's never been a me. So every time I've helped her in the last 19 years, there wasn't a me helping her anyway.
Yeah.
Or was I even helping her?
No,
I wasn't
just,
helping her.
No, it's just a response.
I never helped her.
Yeah.
But just actions were taken.
Yeah, can be.
Or not, right? And then I was like, oh, as the mom, I did that.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
There are a lot of ideas when there's moms and children. There are a lot of ideas how you should be with your children, what is important and all that. It's such a strong thing that about love and need to help, and she or he has to feel happy. That's my responsibility, things like that. It's a misunderstanding about love. It's unconditional love. Unconditional means everything. There's no one in the daughter, you could say, in that way. And there's no one here. That's just what's happening. And there can be being, oh, like that, feeling I help her, and she's like, oh my God, or anything. But there's no one doing that. So this is not about feeling good or doing the right thing. There is no right thing. And it's amazing to hear that everything what's coming out and that is complete. But I don't mean it's good or nice or all that or helping or no, there's no one. So that what's happening is it. It's more a describing of it's that, and it can be like anger. It can anything. But there's no one. So there's no one talking to. There can be talking and a response. Like it feels like a response. That's it.
And so it's not even really a problem, because if it's just what's happening right now, or if it's just it's so confusing, because right now it's gone, right? Because she's not here, like I'm not talking to her about it, so it's gone. Except I'm bringing it up now. And so is that, I mean, there is no problem because it's just what is happening.
Yeah,
and then something else will happen.
But what we do now is that we're talking in the story, and there's an understanding of there's no problems, but being in the story, and the daughter is calling, and there's wanting to help her and all that, and saying to yourself like, oh, but there can't be a problem, but there's no me and all that. It's like a concept, because there's an understanding of what's going on, and there's suddenly understanding there's no one, so there can't be a problem, and everything. And that's thinking about what's being said here and making it into a method or talking like that. What I'm saying is that what's going on is everything. So then there can be an idea that that daughter is there and there's talking, and that's what's happening. And there can be it's complete. It's complete as it is. It doesn't mean anything like it's good or bad or all that what we've been used to. It's complete as it is. It's that. I don't know why. I don't know anything else. It's not even talking to her. But if you have the feeling I'm talking to her, then that's that idea, that belief is there. There's nothing wrong with what's going on. And what normally is doing when there seems to be a problem, then there's, oh, I've been in a meeting, and what's being said there, and how can I deal with this? And that's the same story, because it seems like there's something wrong, and maybe I have a new way to deal with that. This is not a new way.
Right. Right. And I did do that because I was like, I don't want to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because she's uncomfortable. I just automatically felt uncomfortable.
And when there's
And
uncomfortable,
but it's okay to be uncomfortable. Like,
that can be uncomfortable, and trying to use that that knowledge or that understanding. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not. It's only a showing that it's a concept like that. And that's how me is like. When there's something like uncomfortable, it jumps on it, and there's now maybe that the new time is like doing like non-duality things like that. Of course, that's me. When there's me, it uses anything to jump on it, and all thoughts, you could say, in that way. Yeah, of course, to get rid of that feeling. That's how that works. And then there's also so there's nothing wrong with it. It's energetic. When that whole structure, that construct, it's not that you are me. There is still here a me also, or there. That there is already no me, but there can be that energy that can be very strong, like trying to deal with anything. So that's what's going. So it's not you doing that. It's just that energy using this concept. So there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't mean anything. It can be there. And in the same time, there's talking about that what's going on is exactly complete. There's nothing wrong with trying concepts, then that's going. But the only thing is, it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't help anyone, it's just nothing. Yeah. And sometimes it's explaining in the story that when and being uncomfortable or anything, that me is so clever and jumped on it in all kinds of ways. You can't say, oh, now I'm staying with my uncomfortableness. No, that's a new way of the same thing. It's denying also that what's going on is complete. Well, it's so you can't do anything with it. You can't grasp this. This is energetic. So that's what we normally use, that when we are in meetings or somewhere, you subtly try to deal with what you maybe understand, or what's already a bit like, oh yeah, that's true, and all that. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
So I wanted to share. Driving home from my meeting with my friends.
Yeah.
And a memory came. It came.
Yeah.
And it was like no one had. There was no one having the memory. There was just this memory. And there was like, oh wow, it's
Yeah.
It's just this, it's just this too, this,
Yeah.
this.
Ah.
I
Yeah.
said, okay. And then there was like, well, what is this memory? Like I couldn't find what is made up, or couldn't find where it was, or like
Ah.
I couldn't even find that it wasn't happening to anyone.
Mm.
And I couldn't even find that the memory happened to someone. Like
Mm.
it was like all lost in there.
Oh yeah.
I was like, so that's, I'm listening. That's what she said, is this is just happening too. It's everything happening, memory.
Yeah.
And then there was like, well, what, let's look. The memory was about me being a mother,
Uh-huh.
the story of the me being a mother,
Mm.
and how this memory, or this energy of being an angry mother.
Mm. Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And there was a moment, was arising, like I got to do something about that. I said, well, this is just happening too, the memory and the feeling.
Mm.
Like, oh, there's a thing called a feeling. It's feeling, and that's happening, and it's not happening to anyone. There's feeling.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay. And I saw all that, the anger, you could anger, there could be yelling.
Yeah.
There could be words that are unkind. There could be, and it could just do it. And I saw that it was, no one was doing the reactiveness of anger. There was just that happening.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to keep going through because it's really stunning experience. And then what arose was, I feel like it was there forever, this thing called regret. It's like I shouldn't have been like that. And I was like, well, that is absolutely impossible. It was like, and I saw that like regret, somehow this, I didn't even say this concept was so, the way I colored, everything was colored like this, colored with like disappointment, colored with regret, or colored with, it's not the way it should be somehow. It was like, it's like it was a whole way of seeing, and I don't know what, but anyway. And I said, well, that was just happening too. The thing, it just, that's, nothing needs to be, it's like I couldn't even touch it anyway.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do anything with it. And it was like full, like you were saying, it was like full on.
Yeah.
So I was up all night.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because it was like everything, because
Yeah.
I had a moment being sort of scared of this thing, whatever. There was a moment, and I sat and I said, well, let's meditate and get back to the practice. And I had this giant voice goes, watch out. I said, oh, I was trying to get back to a method of how to handle
Yeah.
full on this too, not relying on yeah.
Yeah. It's singular. Everything is singular. Anger. It's only it's the only, it's anger full on, for no one, for nowhere, no meaning. It's that energy. Then there's something else, and that's full on, and that's singular, and then maybe the wall or anything. It's singular, and it's not to anyone or for anyone. It's energy. Yeah. It's a wonder of. It's not even one seeing that wonder, but it's, you can't even say how you see it. You can't even say, no, it's not me seeing it, it's something else. How can you explain? And it's a wonder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's life.
Yeah. Just feels liveness.
Yeah. So there's no time or distance. It's, you can't even say where it is or how long, all that. Not even popping up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel totally out of control. Like
course.
I feel like naked raw. You said it. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
completely exposed.
Yeah.
Like I'm walking around thinking, does everybody see this? It's not got nothing good. It's nothing.
Yeah. But that's more when that suddenly it's so like obvious. And then it's like not being used to that completeness and nothing going on about me or you. It's like I felt naked in when that, but after a while you get used to it and it's even more normal and more normal and not even busy with it or mentioning
Oh, yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But that, wow, it can be like suddenly when it's suddenly there, it's like, wow, what's going on? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Thanks for.
Yeah. Mm. Mm. Thank you.
When there was a point in so-called time when there was no longer a Rose,
Mm.
is there like a transitional period in the body to transition to that difference? Like energetically
Yeah.
changes in the body, getting used to the central nervous system,
Yeah,
getting used to not having that.
That's still going on. That can still go on.
It still
And
goes on?
Yeah. But it's already going on. But we think we do it and it's about us and all that. So there can be stress and relaxation and all that. But when there's nothing going on, being busy with it, or there's no one home or picking it up, there's a relaxation. But it's energetic how that's going in the story, you could say. I can't remember how that was going on, but it can be in the story that in the body can be a lot of stress or less or anything. And that doesn't mean it's immediately released. It's I don't know. It's can be periods then, like saying it's their periods, then it's more there's energetically something going on. And after a long time there's nothing. But I don't know why or what is happening. I don't care.
No stories about it. Yeah. Because normally when there's a me, there's trauma, it comes up, and energetically there's discomfort. There's a story builds around it as to where this is coming from. Oh, there's a story of trauma that happened in the past. It's being released or coming up. Yeah, and the whole storyline.
Yeah.
So it seems like if this was to lose its sense of separation, there'd be a lot of uncovering of trauma and contractions
that
would come out over time.
But when there's me, there's having stories about what's going on in the body and knowing things about there can be trauma and it's still in the body, like knowing about things like that. When that's lost, there can be suddenly emotions. Sometimes they're suddenly feeling very sad. I don't know why. It's just that for a while and then it's gone. I don't know, don't even bother about it. Or can be a lot of pain.
So like when there's deep sadness coming up, there's no storyline that goes with it at all.
It doesn't arise, no. I don't know what it's about. I really don't. But I'm not busy with it too, so, but there's sadness, but it's not about this, because it seems like, oh, there's no one busy with it, and no one, and that seems like something we can grasp somewhere. It's not even that. It's like that sadness, or some say sadness, is alive. It's even a wonder. It's not sad. Maybe it's not even sadness. I don't know. That maybe it's an energy that seems. Calling sadness is even too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Give
because
it a
I don't
label.
know.
It's
There
labeling
can
it,
be
yeah.
also something else, a mix of things like that, and it can be also like it's that, but it's also a wonder. It's alive. There can be maybe crying or not, but it's so alive. It's like being touched by, oh wow, sometimes it's stronger and not sometimes not. But wow, it's just, and it's about everything, and it doesn't matter if it's sadness or pain. Even it's not there. That's so strange. We're so into like everything is happening, it's real, and I feel it, and it's mine, and all that. And then when that's all lost, it's like, oh, it's not even real. It's the pain isn't there, and it's an appearance of pain. But oh, well, what is it alive? It's not the way I'm describing it. It's not happening when that pain is there. But when I'm talking about it afterwards, and I can tell, like, yeah, there was something going on like that. I can't even describe how it is. Sometimes it's stronger than.
Yeah, because with the feeling separate, there's such a need to label everything. Everything coming up has to have a reason.
Yeah.
There has to be a connection to it, a story to it.
Yeah. So you can get rid of it.
Yeah. So you can get rid of it, or at least manage it.
Well, there's nothing to get rid of it because it's unconditional love. It's everything. It's just that sadness or that tension is unconditional love. That's life. It's aliveness. And that's such a misunderstanding. It's so strong, and there's nothing wrong because that's how it goes. But saying that, it's like, oh, that sadness or that it's unconditional love. That tensioning. It's just not even in this leg or what, but it's somewhere. It's like, wow, what a wonder. Life is just such a wonder. It's like, wow, it's in the, what you describe. It can be anger, and you can't even touch it or say what it's just, how is that? And there can be screaming, and it's not on that moment. There's this wonder and thinking. But when I'm talking about it, it's suddenly feeling like, wow, it's amazing how that's going. And then when that contracted energy can be there, and then there's that suddenly abstracting and living in time and feeling like, oh, there's something not right, and all that is that living in that story. Is it a dissatisfaction because that's a lot going on? Like there's something not really, I like this, and I want so much to be there. Oh, this is not right. I don't feel good about it, and all that is so much. That energy is so much there, and then suddenly, and there's trying to make it right, and all that, and there's an exhaustion because we don't know always how to do it, or there's a disappointment, it doesn't work. God, there's so much energy in that. And then hearing this, there's nothing to change. It's already complete. That what is happening is already complete. You can't even understand, but that because that whole energy is about changing and trying and all that. So it's like complete out of that story. So that this is another possibility. And there can be somewhere in resonance with it, because otherwise you couldn't sit here. Most people think like, yeah, boo, hello. And then there's something going on. There's something. Maybe there's not an understanding or grasping, but somewhere it's like, yeah, there can be anything. And then it's energetic what's going on about that, of course. But it's not about you. It's never about you.
Yeah, well, me will never accept that.
No. It's a survival mechanism. Yeah. It wants to survive, so it's completely clever and more clever and subtle and trying to what's going on here, like, oh, it's not the bee doing it, it's just what's happening. Right. Yeah, so what? Yeah. It's the same feeling like that. No, it doesn't change. Of course.
No, it's like you said, there's such a conditioned sense of when something doesn't feel right, it's not right. It's gotta go.
Yeah.
You have to do something.
Yeah.
It's
not even thinking about something.
Right. You don't even think about it. It's just immediate conditioned response. Oh, this isn't right. I need to do something.
Yeah.
And then you think, well, now I'm trying to manipulate what's going on.
Yeah.
And then a whole nother storyline
yeah,
starts.
yeah.
You know, like I shouldn't be doing that. I should
Yeah.
just be with it. I should
Yeah.
just allow it.
Yeah.
You can't
It's
do
the
that.
same story
Or you try to
again.
do that. You
Ah,
try to allow it.
yeah.
You try to just
Yeah.
be one with it or lean
Yeah.
into it even.
Yeah,
You know, make it
there's so
stronger.
many.
Yeah. I want to really feel this.
Yeah.
So all these
But
manipulation
all
techniques.
is manipulation to get rid
Exactly.
of it, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, and change it.
But there's nothing you can do about any of that
No,
at all. You
no.
can't, because anything you do is more manipulation.
Yeah.
Anything.
But it's not you doing that. It's that energy. When that energy is very strong, that convincing energy is very strong, trying to deal with that. It's very in thoughts, in doing. It's that. So there's nothing wrong with it. That energy is like bending, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
there's nothing wrong or right. It's bending, and that's the way it's going. And then that's it. And then and we think, yeah, in the end, when there's no me, there will be da 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 da.
Right.
Because that's the same story again.
Yeah.
Not seeing that Ben is complete, like in that way.
Even the resistance,
Yeah,
manipulation,
everything.
negotiation, strategizing.
But that's not
All that.
you doing that. That's
just
what
what's
we
happening.
normally do. It's energetic. It's just, but not saying that to yourself, because that's nothing. But it's just, that can be. But,
I mean, that happens
that's
too. That happens
yeah.
too. You say it to
Yeah, of
yourself.
course, that can be like, and there's nothing
You
wrong,
can't
but
stop
it
that
doesn't
either.
go anywhere. Yeah, it's just like
That's
that.
just what happens.
Yeah, it's just, and what it's nothing. It just, yeah, it's just that. It's a concept.
I
And
mean,
then,
yeah, the me gets so frustrated because
yeah,
it's constantly trying to manipulate, negotiate, strategize. A right attitude, a right frame of mind, to look at something.
Yeah.
But after a while, it just gets exhausted and goes, oh my God, you know,
Yeah.
what am I doing? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Then maybe there's a giving up that happens, not by you, but a relaxation.
it can be.
A relaxation can
be.
arise just because of the full,
Can be
impossibility
without
of doing it.
reason. And when we think there's no reason. Maybe it's not strong enough. Maybe, I don't know. It's so energetic. So that's how it will go. There's nothing wrong with what's going on. And that's so amazing that everything we're so focused on, there's something, what you say, like there's something wrong with what's going on. It's not even feels like convincing. It's like, it's how that is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then hearing it's already complete. It's like, what are you saying? It's like, huh?
Yeah.
That's energetic.
Yeah.
And there's something else going on. I don't even know. Yeah.
Rose, you have said that this is already complete several times today, and that's so unacceptable. I don't know, I have that gut reaction.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean this is totally complete and nothing needs to be done about it?
Yeah.
It just feels that, you know.
Yeah. It's so convincing. It's so embodied. That feeling that there is something not right yet, and I can do something about it, or somebody else should do something about it, because I don't feel good. It's not about feeling good. It's everything. I want to get rid of the me. Yeah, but you don't want everything. You want something.
Yeah, it was just like a gut reaction. What do you mean it's complete?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not, doesn't even compute.
Yeah. But that's so strong, that feeling when there can be some feelings are really like sadness. You can say, oh, sadness. Yeah, okay, I feel the sadness and all. But there are a lot of feelings also. It's like uncomfortable. You don't know even what it is, and depressed and all that. You do, and they're so strong that you want something else.
Yes,
or somebody has to do something about it because it's because of you or something else. I don't know.
Yeah, especially if it's any kind of negative or unacceptable feeling or condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what do you mean it's complete? It's totally fine.
Yeah. It's not totally fine. It's what it is. That's something else.
But in a way you're saying because it's complete.
No, that's what you make of it. No.
What do you mean?
I don't say it's complete like it's totally fine. That's what you make of it.
Mm-hmm.
When I say it's complete, it's exactly complete because it's what it is. something else.
But in a way, you're implying nothing can be done about it.
I'm saying it's what it is. It's exactly
Yes.
what it is. In that way, it's complete. Of course, it can't be that's I don't know. It's complete. Maybe it's and when you look at it, it's like, oh, I feel good. Oh, and that doesn't. It's just that feeling. It is. It's what it is. In that way, it's complete.
I mean, mentally, I can grasp, when you say it is what it is. Of course, it is what it is. Can't be anything
No,
else.
it's not. It is what it is. This feeling is it.
Is what?
This feeling is it. That's the completeness. Like it's what it is. Not it is what it is. But I don't like that. It's like it's what it is. It's that way. It's that sensation or feeling in that way. It's exactly that's life. Hold on, in that way, that's complete, of course.
Rose, not to interrupt, I got a text, someone's in the waiting room.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Good.
I think I'm still grappling with, because when you say it's complete, in a way, it's implying that it's acceptable or you can't do anything about it.
That's making a meaning of it, making
Then-
something else of it.
Okay, so when you say it's complete, can you talk more about it? What does it mean?
Complete,
when
it is exactly how it is. That carpet or that feeling, most of the time it's about feelings, because that's what seems like it's happening to me or something like that. Or the feeling, or that wall, or that house, or anything. It's what it is. In that way, it's complete. There's no need to change that. That's what we think, because we look at it and think like, yeah, okay. And then there's the whole thing. But it's already complete. It's just what it is. It's what it is.
Yeah, but you said there's no need to change that. And
Yeah.
That's what now I can understand what you mean by saying it's complete.
Yeah.
That there is an implication that there is no need to change that.
Yeah, there's no
Right.
need to change anything.
Or to not change,
Sorry?
or to not change.
Yeah, or to not change.
Yeah, but we are talking about to change that. So what I'm trying to get to is that there can be a circumstance.
Yeah.
And you're saying that's complete. But
Yeah.
I'm, in a way, there's no need to change that, means you're accepting.
No.
Okay,
No.
what's the difference there?
No. Because there's no one. There's no one
Okay,
already. There's no one already. And there's that, we are so used to talk from that point of view that I'm here and I'm looking at what's going on and feeling that feeling or that. And I'm saying, yeah, that's what it is. It's just complete as it is. And there's that feeling, there's suddenly, when there's me hearing that, it's suddenly, me is always coloring everything. So it can't be complete. It's not perfect. It can't, there's always, and then hearing that is like throwing that whole system, what is always busy with trying to help you change and all that, is completely knocked down. It's just not, there's nothing, it's just nothing. It's whole, it's out of the window. Whoa. It's just what it is.
Yeah, so it comes down to that sense of separation, the me, which automatically assumes that there's a need to change that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so embodied that it's not even hearing what's being said when it's saying it's as it is. It's not, I'm not just saying that to you,
That's
but
why I
it's,
had the gut reaction.
yeah, because that's so embodied. That's so can be, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you.
So the message is very cut and dry, meaning it's what I'm seeing is everyone that speaks, it seems to default to this one thing, the self that it thinks it is.
It's what, that last one?
Default, you know the word. It seems to fall back on.
Yeah.
The self that one thinks they are and speaking to. I don't know what I'm saying.
But it's not dry. It's completely alive.
I'm just not, it's just one thing that every apparent one here seems to fall back on is the idea of self.
Yeah.
And all you're ever doing is just pointing out. No.
Yeah, in that way.
So we'll find all ways to co-opt it.
Yeah.
Right?
And
bring it back
to
the idea of who we think we are in relation to what you're saying.
Yeah. And maybe not hearing what is being said, because that's like knocking that whole survival thing down, and it's very important. And
yeah, it's kind of subtle, apparently subtle, because the self will mirror what you say and then try to own it.
Yeah, of course.
And so which brings me to another thing is I'm kind of a proponent of liberation in the dream.
Yeah.
I said it, and that doesn't fly here.
Yeah.
You know, and yet I love tuning in to just directly as you're sharing at the same time. But I'm a little bit forgiving, which is a reinforcement of myself, admittedly, of the character in the dream finding real liberation through the idea of no me. Doesn't that sound crazy?
Yeah, but the characteristics in the story can blossom when there's no restriction or that in that way.
So there's for me, and it's tricky to say because it's always going to be a reinforcement of the self on some level, but not every apparent, and I'm giving validity to the apparent person, not every apparent person could see directly, and the suffering in the relative reality feels real.
Yeah.
And if that suffering could be alleviated through, even if it's a bit conceptual or once removed from the actuality in which you're sharing, something tunes in because it's not the person in the first place anyway. So it feels like energetically,
I know.
even though there's still a subtle idea of the person, the person feels more liberated because there's some kind of alignment within the dream that kind of liberates the idea of self.
But it's always the same
everything
story.
I said is mood.
But it's always the same story, because that feeling that there's the liberation is about not feeling good. And that's confirming that there's something not right or not good. And it's about like freedom or feeling more relaxed or things like that. And it's completely something else is what I'm saying. It's like, it's everything. And it's that energy or anything. So it's not about freeing or liberating. That's confirming that there's something still not right at what's going on. This is completely something else.
So the question is, and it's almost like I'm not hearing you, but I am.
No, it's
okay.
I love
what would seem better in the dream? A character that feels liberated through its, not actually seeing in the way that you're sharing and is happy because of it, or one that is suffering, trying to ascribe to a direct teaching. And I know what your answer is going to be. I mean, it's all this. It's
I don't like
not. It's all this, but one isn't better than the other in the dream. It's just a direct looking. I'm giving you a story.
Yeah, but there can be anything. There can be people happy and there can be people not happy. I don't care. It's like there can be a reason for not being happy or being happy, but there's no one. This is complete. There's no one ever.
Right. So what's the purpose of me bringing up the liberation in the dream? You know,
that's what me is doing, because they're
Yeah.
thinking there's something not right yet somewhere, and we
yeah,
have to can do or maybe with understanding or some kind of way, because when there's a me, when I am here in the story, will always be some dissatisfaction or feeling there's
Yeah.
something not right, and that can be addressed too, and then there are a lot of therapy and everything can go on, but it's never enough. There's something always going on. There's nothing wrong with that. That when people are not like that, then people are like that. But this is a complete other possibility. It has nothing to do with the story. Has nothing to do with seeing people in a certain way. There are no individual people. It's just one
I
energy.
know. So
It's completely different.
I admittedly said I'm bringing it back.
Yeah.
I mean, I was aware,
Yeah.
aware of that.
Yeah.
It kind of, I could see, you know, I'm seeing it very black and white. It's just this, if I could put it that way, it's like either, and I can't even put it that way because it's so hard.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
tuning in refers to a person, but
Yeah.
either there's a seeing, let's say, or a tuning in to how it's being shared there.
No. Okay.
All right. Or
Has
not.
nothing to do with the seeing.
What I'm
or
saying is
turning.
either there's an argument for the person, like I'm doing, and the liberation of a person,
Yeah.
or there's actually seeing it, and there's no seeing. I get it. There's actually, how could I put it? You know, this, not this. You don't like this. There's actually something will dawn in actuality just by virtue of being here and seeing.
Yeah.
And it's a story. I keep falling back.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Just go
if
on.
there's some kind of, it feels to me if the heart opens, I mean, in the story, and there's a certain kind of open receptivity and authenticity, something energetically, as you guys say, just may dawn.
Yeah.
It's my New York accent.
Yeah.
Just by virtue of being here, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is, why would I even want to go back into the story of liberation to reinforce that? You know what I'm saying? But I have my reasons. That's what I started.
But this has nothing to do
confusing.
with seeing or
Yeah,
being clear or anything.
I know.
It's a loss of everything.
I get it.
And that's very frightening, because when there's being in the story, then that whole identity in one way or another is what's being protected by that whole construct of surviving me, how can you call it? And there can be all kinds of ways trying to deal with it and feeling more comfortable, more money, more like being more open through whatever it's doing, and then why not? Can do that. But this is talking about complete something else.
I know.
And that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with
because of
anything.
the nothing wrong with anything and the why not.
No.
This is tricky territory, but I can, you know.
Yeah.
As long it is what it is, and
no, it's not what it is.
All right. Yeah.
No, because that's the new way.
Teachers, don't you, when they say that?
Yeah, and I don't like that, because that's making it into something
That's
else.
true. That's also another thing.
Yeah.
Say. All right.
But just say it, because I like when you of course.
Yeah. I think in the dream it's a beautiful phenomena and unfolding when our parent selves find it liberating just by glimpsing into what you're sharing, even though there's still a subtle sense of self that's doing that.
Yeah, sure.
And the reason I say that is apparent suffering feels real. And a lot of people, I don't know, that's another story I'm going into, but I just think, and I was going to say it is what it is again, but I just think there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
And that's how it is. And so I would continue to embrace, although this message is what really speaks, you know.
Yeah.
It's all, and I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not, maybe I'm scared because I keep saying the liberation within the dream.
Yeah.
But it cuts through in its own way here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to land anywhere with it. I don't know anything about it. It's just a tuning in and an openness, and all of a sudden, as you're sharing something, nothing, something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah. Anytime I try to talk from this space, you call it out.
Yeah.
Of, you know, the space of the idea of the self.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I would,
Yeah, but
you know,
it's okay.
I kind of like liberation with it,
Yeah.
like just a balanced, just for the ones that need it in that way, the apparent ones. And that's the story.
But there can be all kind of stories, but it's
Yeah.
also always a story about feeling good.
It is.
There can be,
I don't know
and
what
it's,
else to say. Yeah.
yeah, and there can be an exhaustion, like, oh, there's something else, because it's endless. There's endless working on it. It's
Yeah.
always for a while. There's needing something else. And all that.
That's true.
But sometimes but there are people like happy with what's going on. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one point. Sort of.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm not here like everybody should listen to this. No,
Yeah.
there's no everyone. There's not even people. This is everything.
That blows my mind. You see,
Where is everyone? Where's the world? There is not even
Right.
a world.
When it's
There are no other people. There's some bodies seeing, and that's everything.
That's the most amazing thing when
Yeah.
it's seen in that way, when everything's, any concept or any
Yeah.
idea about concept
Yeah.
is broken down into seeing really clearly the very conditioning that it is
Yeah.
to its
Yeah.
deepest level.
Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah.
And then you don't even know what this is. There's just
Yeah.
something there.
Yeah.
And it's a mystery.
Yeah.
And it's mind blowing.
Yeah, that's the mind blow, because we're so into the world and other
So
people. And this,
Yeah. I think I'm
this is
sounding
everything.
hypocritical, but yeah.
No, because there can be a lot of
I'm in your
ideas.
camp, so to
Yeah.
speak. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It hits all the time, this
Yeah.
message.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I will make an argument for the truth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there can be.
okay.
And it can be like dissipating, because that doesn't work so much anymore. Or maybe it's getting stronger. It's just energetic. It's so different for, if you call it a story, then it's different for everybody. And in the same time, and that's the paradox, there is no everybody. There are no people. There are no individuals. There's this body's flooring, and or there's a body or a floor. What is different? It's that energy. There's even no difference. So there's not seeing individuals. No, it's energy. It's like what you said, like there can be anger or thoughts, but it's not inside. It's in space. And we make it into a concept, and because we are seeing like everything contracted and serious and real. And then nothing is, it's an appearance of energy.
It seems almost like I could have my cake and eat it as well.
Sorry?
Like, you know that expression? It's an American expression. Have my cake and eat it as well. Like that, get the best of both worlds, so to speak. It kind of dawned on me that, you know, like both can be seen simultaneously, but in a way, no, because anything that's about the story is a reinforcement of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all black and white, like I said, like all of.
This like
that's
they
dualistic,
two
too.
worlds, they don't even meet. It's like
Yeah,
this is
that's
talking
what-
about this completely
To say it's all or
something else.
nothing is also dualistic.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah.
You have one foot in one and one in the other.
No,
Like
there's
Christ
no
said?
two.
Yeah.
There is no two. There's that when there's
Yeah,
the
I
story
get it.
of me and going on in that. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's a misunderstanding, because there's
Yeah.
feeling, there's
I don't know what to say.
and there can be a relaxing and all that. Of
I think
course,
there's a place for that, but
Yeah.
it's also always reinforcement.
Yeah.
As well.
Sure.
So that, I don't know, it's
There's
a fine
something
line.
about right and wrong. There's subtly or more.
Right.
It's there. Yeah. And in the end, it's like it can be like, oh, it's so much more. And in the end, it's coming back to me, because me wants to feel good in some way or another. And there's that mechanism going on for that. And that's the same story again. And this is like that what most people don't like. It's like that whole trying, being better, all that is completely out of the window. It's just not talking about the story or individual. That's
And yet, the apparent individual can feel the benefit. Hold
no.
on. I know. That's why I said, hold on.
Okay.
There's an apparent point of view there that might feel, and I know, it's
Yeah,
back
they
to
don't
the story again, I get
yeah.
it.
Okay. Say
But
what you think.
the apparent byproduct of seeing, I know I'm doing what I'm doing.
Now say what you want to
The
say.
apparent byproduct of it is the apparent individual point of view can feel liberated as this clarity, even though no one's here, channels apparently through the point of view of you or me. Like the point, there is no point of view. I know what you're going to say, but the apparent life of you kind of seems to flow through a little bit more. I know.
Amazing. Well, it's
I know.
good.
It's a fault. I know. I know what I'm doing.
No, it doesn't matter, because that's what some people think. It's about being, because I hear some people, like teachers or how you call them, say, and there's a lot of clarity about what's going on. This is not, there's no clarity at all. When they're speaking, it's just coming, it's just there, and it's just there, and that's it. When I'm outside and having dinner, there's nothing. It's just having dinner. There's nothing going on. So there's also no life of Rose.
There's no Rose.
There's no Rose.
Yeah.
But in this
reality,
the most scary part of it, because no existence.
Appearances seem very real, yet seen through. I mean, it feels very solid, right? The wall.
When
eating dinner,
when
doing
there's
the
me,
rest
it
of
feels very solid.
Oh.
No, it doesn't feel solid to me.
Oh.
You can say, yeah, it's you can break it or things like that. It's an appearance of, and it's energy. It's not real. It's an appearance. And that saying like this is solid, it's like that sensation is only what's happening. It's not solid, it's a sensation. And we make it like, yeah, that's real. No.
Yeah, anything we want to do with it would be falling away from it. If we want to do something or make it into something.
So there's so many concepts, you don't even know they are there.
It's true, it's very subtle.
And that's it can be so strong. It's so normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But within, I mean,
go on.
I'm doing this because I'm still an advocate for the dream in a certain way. Within the dream, it could be seen almost like let's say, it's really hypocritical to say this, so I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
It could tune in, let's say, let me just be forgiving of it. It could tune into how you're sharing.
Yeah.
I'm losing my train of thought a little bit. And the apparent, I don't know, I'm losing my train. In a very full way that it's being shared, apparently it could be, I said it before, I'm being redundant. Apparently, that, like when you said that, it's like I'm almost seeing what you're saying. It blows me away like that. There's actually, it's a mystery. I mean, how could we ever grab onto something and think that it exists when we don't even know what anything is, essentially? You know? So that's mind blowing, and I could tune in as you're saying this, and I'm like, okay, you know, but okay, and then that's full stop right there. But yet, I kind of want it. I'm saying the life of the individual feels really liberated when it sees that. I don't know what I'm saying. I'll let it go.
But when there's being busy, when there's an individual, there's an awareness and being busy with what's going on. There'll always be something right or wrong or better or worse, and that's the suffering in a way. And it can be very subtle and then not bothering so much. But and
it's an ego death, and that's kind of scary. It's the death of the idea.
It's the death.
I mean, in the story, it's the death of the idea of who you thought you are, really.
But it's the death of everything.
That's another story.
The whole, it's not that's even that's even nothing. It's you don't exist. Hello, that is something.
Yet something's appearing to exist.
There's nothing. There's nothing, and there are appearances of floors and bodies, but there's no one existing or individuals.
Right.
That's a misunderstanding.
And there would only have to be a past and future to think otherwise, right?
No, when there's that it's so embodied, that abstract thinking, what people can do, like time and distance, and that contracted energy, and suddenly there's distance, and then it's understanding that and seeing like, oh, there's over there, and then it's get embodied.
So that's all that's blown out of it.
that's there.
Yeah.
But that can be that contracted energy. That still can be there.
I see.
Or tension or
But
feeling.
but for no one.
Yeah. And it's what is sometimes a misunderstanding that they're saying it's for no one. So there can be a thinking like
As
in
opposed
this
to
body,
someone.
there is no one. It's worse than that.
I know.
Yeah.
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 That's being called out by with some of the teachers as well, because they used to say there's no one here, and now it's starting to get on to that. No one as opposed to someone. You know, that's another dualistic concept.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah,
Nothing.
sure.
Nothing exists.
Not even no one.
Yeah, so that's something else. Yeah.
Yeah, now they're saying not even that. Not
Yeah.
even no one.
Yeah. There's no Rose. There is no Rose. It's making up, but that's not only here but everywhere. It's like the body is always real, in some way, or maybe you can say it's an appearance, and people can say that. But in a way, it's always there, and I'm here, and there's no one, and all that concepts. But it's making it real in a certain way. There's nothing real. It's an appearance.
When the character sees there's nothing here, it feels great.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it's.
But there's an appearance.
Feels great for the character.
Yeah.
But there's nothing real. It's an appearance,
Well,
and it's sense.
subtle, not with a heavy reinforcement of, if I could say that. It's just like the character also knows there's nothing in the way. It's not its own obstacle. And so even within the dream, it feels liberated. I'm going back to that thing.
Yeah.
And I understand. I'm just making an argument.
Well, there can be like
the
a
dream.
feeling of liberated and all that, and suddenly, for God help me, your wife said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't want you anymore."
Well, there's always the opposite.
And it's like, what's happening there? Because that's on those situations, that's something
But
else.
the character also understands that it can't maintain anything, because that's where the trouble comes in. It's trying to maintain a state of mind of no self.
Yeah, it's a
Or
concept.
something like. That's what I'm saying. But if it sort of gets that, and everything just flows the way it does without trying to maintain a state of mind, then it doesn't come back to bite you, so to speak, in the same way.
But that's very obvious in just normal situation, when in a meeting and nothing is going on, and suddenly there's a huge panic or there's something else, and then that whole construct is coming in and
Because you
taking
didn't cut it
place.
at the root.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. We're having a break. Okay.
So Rose, could you say that it's one unified field of appearance, one appearance that's always complete?
Yeah, and that what is the appearance is this. There's nothing outside. There's this floor. That's everything. There's nothing. The whole world. There is no whole world. There's this.
Yeah, so it's just nothing then appearing as a unified field, and then, appearing differently in another moment, but always complete.
Yeah, not for anyone, not just the floor, that's everything. Not seeing the floor, that's everything. There's no Rose or anyone. There's flooring.
Yeah. And so, like, the unconditional love is just that it doesn't matter how it's appearing.
No, it's everything. Yeah, it's everything. Life is everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah, because the person can't do that ever. The person.
But there is no person. There is no person.
The imagination
can be the idea that I have a free will and choice and trying and being convinced that it's going there. It will never understand this. No.
Yeah, so it's one or the other. You're either operating as separation or completely out of story. Is that?
Yeah, there are two worlds, living in the story and I'm here and all kind of ways, or there's no story, there's no one. It's just nothing, nothing and everything appearing as
just the field, like just the field, right?
the feel. I don't like the word feel because that makes it into, for me, a little bit like something. It's energy, and it's flooring, it's walling, it's legging. How do you say?
Yeah.
Feeling.
Yeah, and it's all mixed together. Like we think it's like 5 separate senses, but it's never separate sensations. It's all together as one whole experience, right?
I couldn't even say that. I don't even know. It's that flooring, and that's it. I don't even know if it's a sense or something else. Nothing is busy with that. It's that flooring. If it's a sense or something else, I don't even. It's not. Nothing is busy with that. You could say that's a bit strange to say, but that's everything. Nothing else around. Like this is. I don't know what I can't even say. It's not. It's not. How do you? When you say something like that, I can't even. No, it's flooring. That's everything. How can you say something else? You can't even. I can't even say how that is because that's. I think it's impossible. Trying to give it names or making it clear. It's flooring. It's that floor. It's just everything, and wow, it's stunning. It's alive. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are gonna have a break, like I don't know how long. Yeah, just 15, 20, 30 minutes. Just try.